Alright, quick introduction before we jump in. My name is Nee and I run live Oasis Realty Maintenance LLC. We handle lawn care, cleanups, and general property maintenance for homeowners, landlords, and rental properties, especially turnover situations like this one. However, I am on this job by myself today and I will get it done. So as you can see here, these bushes are clearly way overgrown. The deck also clearly needs renovation because those leaves on the deck have rotted it out. A lot of my work involves properties where the inside has been refreshed, but the outside has been overlooked for a long time. These jobs always look simple at first, but once you're on site, the real conditions start to show. So what you are watching isn't staged. This is a real job, real conditions, and real decision-making process. Now let me set the stage for this property. This is a turnover rental. This house was recently renovated and has been prepared for a new tenant to move in. Inside it's been cleaned up, fresh paint, basic updates, ready to show. But outside, the condition tells a very different story. The first thing you'll notice is the amount of leaves. There were leaves everywhere. Not light coverage, this was very heavy. Compacted leaf buildup across most of the yard. This isn't something that happens in a few weeks. This looks like multiple seasons of leaves that were never properly cleared. When leaves sit that long, they block sunlight, trap moisture, and slowly kill whatever grass was underneath. And that becomes obvious once you start cleaning. So as I began removing the leaves, you can see what's really going on underneath. On the other side, where the large tree is located, there's basically no grass at all. Just bare ground, debris, and compacted soil. But right in front of me, you can tell there is some grass. This is not a perfect turf, but it's still alive. The contrast alone shows how neglect and shade combine over time to break down the yard. This is something I always point out to property owners and investors. Exterior neglect compounds quietly. By the time they notice it, you are no longer dealing with routine maintenance. You are dealing with cleanup and restoration. And that distinction matters. As the cleanup continues, another thing becomes clear. The property wasn't fully renovated, at least not holistically. Inside, yes. Outside, not quite. You can see the areas of the exterior siding and the surface that clearly needed pressure washing. Dirt buildup, discoloration, areas that stand out once you start paying attention. Nothing catastrophic, but definitely noticeable. This is common with turnover rentals. The focus is often speed and cost control. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is good enough to rent. And that brings me to the budget side of this job. The contract for this property was very straightforward. They weren't looking to do everything. They weren't trying to fully restore the exterior. Their position was basically, this is what we are willing to pay. Do what you can within that. That's a real world constraint a lot of contractors deal with. Every job sits somewhere between ideal scope and budget limited reality. Knowing how to navigate that without losing money or overcommitting is part of the business. So, in this case, the focus stayed on curb appeal and readiness, clearing the leaves, making the property presentable, and addressing the most visible exterior issues so the tenant can move in. And yes, I did complete the job. Part of that decision came down to context. This was someone I knew. Relationships matter sometimes. But it's also a good example of why you need internal standards, even when you are flexible on the outside. Because flexibility without structure turns into underpricing very quickly. One thing I am intentionally not doing in this video is sharing the price. I want you to look at the condition of this property, the amount of labor involved, the before and after difference, and tell me in the comments what you think this job should realistically cost. Not what you like to pay, but what you think a professional should charge for work like this. These kind of cleanouts are deceptive. They look very simple until you get on site. Then you realize you are dealing with accumulated neglect, not routine maintenance. That changes the labor, the equipment wear, and the time involved. As the video continues, you will see the progression from heavy leaf coverage to a cleared, usable exterior. This is not a full restoration. It's not perfect, but it meets the objective, making the property rentable and presentable within constraints. If you work in lawn care, property maintenance, or real estate, this is the type of job you are going to see over and over again. Understanding how to scope it, price it, and execute it without losing money, that's the real skill. Drop your pricing thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely interested to see how people evaluate this kind of work. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, comment, and see you next time.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase